Hello everyone, today I'll be reviewing Cat People. So Cat People is a horror film and it came out in 1942, and in this film we have Simone Simon. She plays a Serbian girl called Irina Dubrovna, and right at the start of the film we see she is in Central Park Zoo and she is drawing a sketch of this panther that is in the zoo. She is an illustrator for a fashion company, and at this zoo she meets a character called Oliver Reed, who is a marine engineer, and he's played by the actor Kent Smith. And these two characters, they're really attracted to each other, so they essentially fall in love and get married. But even though they are married to each other, they actually haven't done anything physical together, so they haven't even kissed each other yet. And the reason is that the character Irina, she believes that she is descended from this ancient tribe of cat people who will turn into panthers if they are attracted to anyone or if they kiss anybody. So she is afraid to do anything close with her husband. And what we see happen throughout this film is that she is constantly she's challenged by this and she's too afraid to do anything. And what later happens is, because she's too afraid to do anything with her husband later then becomes very close to this other woman that he works with called Alice, and we get a bit of a conflict happen there. So this was the first time that I'd seen this film, and in fact going into this I wasn't familiar with any of the actors or actresses in this film at all. So I had no idea who any of these people were, and I was only vaguely familiar with the director because he'd also directed Out of the Past, which is another film noir from the 1940s. I had no idea what to expect going into this film at all, and I actually really enjoyed this one. I'll start off by saying that this is a very short film. It's only 73 minutes long, so for a feature-length film it's very short. And I really like the actress Simone Simon in this film. I think she's excellent. I wasn't familiar with her at all. She's actually French, and she plays this character very well because she's very cute looking. She has very soft features on her face, and she comes across as being very innocent and very vulnerable at first. Well, that's how at least I felt towards her character. But then obviously, in fact, there is a real dangerous element to her which she is hiding at first, and this is the way we see her character develop. And we get several scenes throughout this film where it is implied that she has something evil lurking inside her, something evil beneath her that we can't see. And we have hints of this throughout the film, and the way it's filmed is very clever. And I particularly like the lighting in this film. We get lots of shadows and lots of these eerie lighting effects, and we have lots of these types of effects throughout these 1940s films, so this obviously fits in very well with that era. Two of the best scenes in the film are actually where Irina as a character, she is lurking in the background, and as I mentioned earlier with this character called Alice, we get the sense that she is in danger when she's alone. We get this excellent scene where Alice is walking down the street and she's being followed by Irina, but it's very cleverly filmed because we don't really see Irina very much, so it's often implied that Irina is about to strike out of nowhere, and we get these excellent camera shots and this rustling of the bushes. And obviously during these scenes it's implied that perhaps Irina has turned into a cat or has turned into a panther, but we don't actually really see it happen. And we do get this excellent scene as well where Alice has gone to a swimming pool and all the lights are out, and we can see the reflection and some shadows on the wall of this cat lurking in the background. And it's all very well filmed because we know that Irina is there somewhere, but it's not explicitly shown. So as a horror film, I think this works very well, and I think it is actually aged very well. And the reason it's aged very well is that it doesn't show many special effects. Often what makes this film scary is the suspense and the tension, and it's not what we see, it's what we don't see, or it's what we expect to see. And we know there is danger there. We get the feeling something bad is about to happen, and it's the fear of the unknown and it's what works well with lots of later films, particularly those directed by Alfred Hitchcock. He was very good at, well, Hitchcock was a master of suspense, and I'm pretty sure he must have looked at films like this and must have taken note from films like this and been inspired from an excellent film like this. One thing I will say about this film is that even though it is only 73 minutes long, it did feel like quite a slow-paced film. As I was watching it, I was expecting something bad and something evil to happen. And it does take quite a while for something like that to actually happen. Once we reach those suspenseful and tension-filled scenes, they do tend to be towards the end of the film, a bit later on, which is no bad thing, as I suppose it gets us to know the characters a bit better and really give us a sense of what to expect. And the fact that it takes quite a while, it simply ramps up that tension even more and makes it even more exciting when we actually get to those scenes. And I have to say, I think the scene right at the end is very nice. It really finishes off the film nicely. I'm not going to spoil it for you, so I'll let you view it for yourself to make your own mind up about whether you like it or not. And I particularly do like the cover for the Blu-ray behind me, if you can see, particularly with the cat's eye on one half of the face and a human eye on another half of the face. The film really plays it very well because it doesn't explicitly show the cat-like features too much, although it is hinted at a few times throughout the film. We even get this very strange scene where this woman who has cat-like features on her face says something in Serbian to Irina, and it's a very brief scene, but it's very odd, and it stays with us throughout the rest of the film as we think, what did that scene actually mean? What was that woman talking about? Is she hinting at something? So overall, I have to say that Cat People, it's a very good horror film. It's a very short and sweet film, so as I said, only 73 minutes long, but it gets everything just right. It has the tension, it has the suspense, it has the fear of the unknown. The only downside I would say, I did think that the actor who played Oliver Reed, Kent Smith, I thought that some of his dialogue was pretty basic and quite boring, and I'm not sure that he was the best actor. But having said that, this isn't one of those films that is about the acting ability, it's about the horror and the suspense, and when it comes to those things, this film gets it absolutely right. So overall, I'm going to give Cat People a rating of 9 out of 10. I think it's an excellent horror film and still very watchable after all these years. So there we go, so that is my review of Cat People. So what do you guys think? Have you seen Cat People? Do you like it? Do you dislike it? Please let me know what your thoughts are down in the comment section below. Anyway, thank you all very much for watching. I'll see you all in the next video. Take care.